Jason and Jabari. Jason and Jabari.
What's up, guys? This is Jason from the Jason and Jabari Gaming, and today we have wars number, I believe, 7 and 8, because I've been doing them in increments of 2. So first up, we're up against Salty. Shout out to everybody over at Salty. Obviously a very formidable opponent that we have today. And if you guys notice the thumbnail title, everything is not fine. It isn't going to be fine, sadly, in either one of these wars, but we'll get there. So I'm supposed to take this rank 4 Count Nefaria on node 8, and I was asked to bring in crossbones, and I told him I didn't have crossbones, and we kind of brainstormed a little bit, and I was like, you guys think, Falcon can do it? Because technically, if you prevent the bars of power, or not prevent the bars of power, excuse me, if you prevent the buffs, so basically on this node, there's a buff granted every single bar of power. So like 1 bar you get a fury or something like that, 2 bars cruelty, etc. So basically I was like, you guys think with Falcon with locked on that could work? And was like, yeah, it should be fine. Okay, cool. So I do my masteries. I max out willpower, which was a problem. I didn't remember that Count would turn the willpower off essentially and steal it for himself. And yeah, so I brought in the Ant-Man synergy because it gives him 2 extra seconds flat on his locked on duration, which is the longest that I could find. So basically the plan is to hit him while locked on, pushing him to 2 bars of power and not 1 bar of power, because 1 bar of power essentially he'll get into his mode pretty much and he'll start stealing your power, and it's like a almost not an endless loop, but it's a very hard cycle to get out of. I'm assuming this guy is running max willpower, or excuse me, max inequity. Can't talk today, but anyway, I have these fights sped up because yeah, they're going to be pretty long, obviously. But anyway, the plan was to push him to the special 2, which you see me doing. I know it's going kind of fast, but the problem in this fight, there's a couple problems. Number 1 was me being a dum-dum and turning on my max willpower, like 3 out of 3 willpower. Eventually, when he throws off a special 1, he's going to start stealing my health. But anyway, number 2 was that the block damage over time adds up. The block damage gets crazy. There he threw the special 1. There goes him going almost to another special 1. And I have to wait on the locked on to come back, which eats a little bit of time, sadly. And time actually matters in this fight. So I push him to red, a special 3. Which eats up even more time, but I was noticing the block damage was starting to hurt a little bit, so I'm like, well, let me just push him red. I ran an invul boost because I was told to, and I thought it was the smart idea anyway. But notice the force charges aren't really going up, and that's a huge problem. Me trying to bait out SP2s, sometimes we're getting that SP1 off on us, which was a problem. And notice that SP2 when he got those 15 furies was like, holy crap, that hurt on the block there. I don't know what happened. I guess I was in assassin's range or something. I just let go of my block, which I find it hard to believe. I thought I parried right there, but I guess the assassin failed it, and I definitely got whacked there. So that was the first attempt, which was sad. And I let my officer know after I did this fight. I'm like, yeah, Falcon's a no-go for this fight. The health pool is huge. I'm punching up with a rank 3 versus a rank 4. And the second time, won't be too much better. You'll just find out that either you're going to time out or you're just going to die from the block damage and stuff. There I was unsuccessful in baiting the special 2, so he got a special 1 off. There he has 4 Furies and he's hitting pretty hard. I mean, it was manageable for a time, but then just through all the chip damage and see those blocked hits add up. So this just wasn't the smartest play, but you don't know what you don't know. We thought it should be fine. It wasn't fine, but now we do know. I guess Crossbones would ramp up a lot more and stay, or have the ability to stay ramped up due to the debuffs placed on him where he could shrug them and turn them into Fury. So he was definitely the smarter play here, but I didn't have Crossbones ranked up, and I love Falcon. So learning experience for sure. We definitely lost this war. It wasn't just on me. We handily lost this war, but you know, you gotta learn at some point, and you know, sometimes theoretically trying things is not a bad thing, I will say, for sure. But anyway, I end up pushing him red again, but I still had the invul boost, and that's another thing. I wasn't really getting hit until the end of the last fight, and on this fight you'll notice I wasn't really getting hit. It's just all chip damage, and now you see I'm losing a bunch of health. That's 45 per second, and that's because he turned off my willpower healing, and he's now siphoning it for himself, and he's also it's also taking me down. And there we go. You took a blocked hit. It obviously was too much, so we died again. So yeah, this time we're going to finish him off, but we did drop 2 to count Nefaria. It does kind of feel bad. It does kind of suck, but you know, like I said, learning experience. We all thought that it should be fine, and it just absolutely was not fine. But we would have never known had we needed to try this fight or match up again, so which we won't, obviously, but that's fine. You know, everybody theoretically thinks something can or possibly could work, and then you go into reality and you see that maybe it didn't pan out the way that you initially thought, which is, you know, it's just part of learning, I suppose. But anyway, we are going to clean up. We won't die again. And again, the alternative was a timeout. 100%. You can't take enough of the health away in time. It's not possible with Falcon, sadly. You're just not gaining enough force charges to do a substantial amount of damage to equate to a rank 4 health pool. So it's what it is. We are going to clean this one up here, and then we're going to move on to the next war. GG's to Salty. Love you guys over there, for all the homies. And yeah, I think we end up pushing him red. Yeah, all 3 times we push him red, and again, you'll see like no health taken on the special 3s because we're not taking really any damage. Like, it was some unfortunate hits, but we really wasn't really getting hit. It was all the chip damage and the block hits really taking us out. And of course, willpower is reversed now, so we're losing health every single second. So yeah, we'll never attempt that again, but fortunately for us, they're reverting war, so Falcon can probably do all health pools again, which is going to be super exciting. But anyway, moving on to the 8th war, we have New Nation. Shout out to everybody over in New Nation that are the homies. You guys know who you are. Another very formidable foe. And I was shown this fight that I will be taking, I think, Node 1, a rank 4 bullseye with my rank 3 Kushala. So punching up again, they showed me, I think they showed me equal ranks. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember, but I was told, hey, go ahead and go in with Kushala. Only focus on the blue spell. which is to stop the block damage basically, and then just, you know, do as many light attacks as you can to give them the buffs, and then of course get rid of the buffs with your special one. And I was like, okay, cool. I brought in the Phoenix synergy. I showed what it did. I forgot at this point in time, but that was the best synergy that I could find. I think it gave 15% more potency on the incinerate debuffs, I believe. I could be wrong. I did throw on the 200% power back, and that was because with Kushala, if I get pushed to a SP2, which I am running 5 out of 5 MD, which I didn't really see come into play as much as I thought it should. But maybe that was just me, you know, caught up in the moment or something like that. But basically the strat is to parry. I'm going to parry 3 times. And then after that, I'm going to start hitting, and I'm going to do medium quadruple lights. And then I'll throw off my special one. So there, as you can see, I got rid of his buffs, but for some reason, like, MD's really not coming into play. So I'm like, well, okay, I'm getting rid of the buffs. Where's my MD at? Like, what? So I don't know. I do my masteries right before I do my wars. So I checked and made sure MD everything was on, but it doesn't really seem like it is. And this was the fight that I saw. So I'm not doing anything that I didn't see. The only difference is he was doing a heavy, which I was told not to do the heavies because it gives him a lot of power, and you want to utilize that power into throwing light attacks to convert the prowess into incinerate buffs. So yeah, I honestly, I mess up on a special one like 2 times, but just notice that the damage isn't there. I'm specifically blocking, and then I think I'm even starting to parry the last hit of his special one. And I just thought the damage was gonna ramp up, but it never really did. Like, it's doing decent damage, but it didn't do significant damage. There's one of the times that I accidentally messed up on the SP1, which was unfortunate. But even when the buffs are going away, that was the first time I got whacked, which I was running an invuln boost, by the way. It just, I don't know. So I'm not entirely sure why I wasn't gaining the MD. Again, I promise you it was on 5 out of 5. Also, with the Falcon fight, one of the things that I did run that was interesting enough that I highlighted, if you want to slow it down significantly, was the skill class boost, which helps increase his crit damage significantly. Well, not significantly, but a decent amount. Because I thought that was one of the times I've never really utilized that mastery, and I think I just about maxed it out. Either 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. But anyway, back to this fight. This is the fight. This is literally the fight. I don't think I get hit anymore. I think we get the incinerates up every single time. But as you can see, we have a minute. He's at half health. So I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be a timeout. I don't really know what I should have done, I guess, to prevent the timeout. Yeah, I think I missed one more SP1 if I'm not mistaken, and then we just go ahead and we time out because I do have to wait out obviously his little evade, but that time we missed it because he evaded. I think I tried to hit and he evaded and I threw it, so that was on me. It wasn't going to stop anything, I don't believe. I think I was still going to time out, but there's always a chance if I didn't miss those 2 SP1s. But either way, it would have been super close. But anyway, I heal up, I do the same exact strat, and we drop them. So this fight, it can work, it does work. I'm just not entirely sure what I did specifically to make it not work, if that makes sense. because again, I had already checked my masters, everything was a go. But I don't know, man. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I did something that I'm not thinking of, but it was unfortunate. But these are the things that sometimes you gotta live with and you just learn from. Even some of the good counters with Sentinel, he can still time out too if not played properly. So learn from my mistakes, guys. That's why I show you guys my mistakes for the most part. Yeah, like I said, we'll wrap this one up. We did end up losing to New Nation. It was a very close war, way closer than the Salty War, but we're still actually in top 10 Masters, which is actually our goal. So I already have done war number 9, which is a very interesting war, guys. I would say these are interesting wars as well, just overshadowed by the failures. But bringing in Falcon is always an interesting time, and bringing in Kushala for me specifically as a first. So I would definitely say these are unique wars for me personally. But the next one is a definite unique war, so you definitely don't want to miss that one. But that will come out with war number 10, so you guys will have to wait until we do war number 10, which obviously I don't know how I perform yet. Hopefully I do well. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up here. Huge shout out to everybody that's been subscribing. You've been helping the channel grow. We greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't, we would ask that you consider hitting the like button. It does help push us through the algorithm so more people can find us. And also consider subscribing to us, because that also helps. And we thank you very much. And yeah, man, I think this is the last SP1 if I'm not mistaken. This one should do it. But yeah, man, how's you guys' war season going? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.